To say that crypto is volatile is a bit of an understatement because the volatility can literally take you to zero or the moon. Baby doll, strap in. Today, we're going to be speaking about Terra Luna, the lessons we can learn from it, and how it relates to pDAI. And it is going to be talking about stablecoin, super cycle, pegs, all of that coming your way and more. So first thing, friends, if you're in PulseChain and pDAI, you probably come across the word stablecoins. You know what they are? They can be fiat backed. That means it's got a $1 backing in a US government approved bank account. They could also be crypto backed. That's the actual real invention of crypto. The super big, powerful invention of crypto is that we found a way to back a dollary dooney with crypto, which is very interesting. It all started with MakerDAO. Okay, now the MakerDAO co-founder Nikolai, rest in peace, he's dead. The Coconut Intelligence Agency murdered him. He revealed Mossad and the Coconut Intelligence Agency, their pedophile elite ring. They're doing something in Puerto Rico, probably doing some honey traps and stuff out here. God else knows what. Okay, so if you're in pDAI, you really got to learn this one I'm about to tell you in Terra Luna, because Terra Luna was an algo stablecoin. And look, I've got to remind you as well, the real innovation of crypto is backing something with crypto. Because the crypto technology, we already have the most powerful technology, friends, given to us from Lord Satoshi. Satoshi gave us BTC. BTC has no blacklist function. BTC can't be turned off. Okay, so also Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies, they basically borrow off that power. They use that power. Thank you to Satoshi. Let's continue. If you're in pDAI, friends, let's learn. In 2022, Terra Luna collapsed. So I'm just going to show you something. We're going to go through some snippets here. These are going to blow your mind. We got Richard Hart commenting and stuff as well. So remember, in 2022, Terra Luna collapsed. It was, I guess, the poster child for crypto's failure. So Bitcoin drops, 77%. Terra Luna literally goes to zero. I even show you just the Luna token. This is it here. So Luna, right, it did 1,000x and then it dropped 99.6%. And I guess what makes it even tougher is when you see, like, this is what makes it rough, okay? Mike Novogratz, Mr. Novogratz, say, all right, if you know, friends, Bitcoin, please go to Moon, one of the most darling crypto songs everywhere. Mr. Novogratz, okay, he's rocking the amazing dome. Mr. Novogratz got into the Ethereum ICO. He believed in crypto early. He was one of the earliest hedge fund, Wall Street type of dudes to believe in crypto and go in really early, and everybody else has now followed him. Now, what made it tough is he got a Terra Luna tattoo. He became a lunatic. So why is this tough? It's because on one hand, you have Vitalik and Ethereum Maxi saying, hey, Terra Luna's a Ponzi. Okay? And you have Anthony Sassel and stuff. They're like, guys, these things are like obvious Ponzi's. You have like these smart people saying that. On the other hand, the coin has gone up 1,000x and it just keeps gaining adoption. So you got to be careful about that word adoption. Like you might hear people saying, soy lana, soy, soy, soy. Everybody in the world wants to have blood type S for soy. Soy latte, soy everywhere. They're just saying adoption, adoption, adoption. Just be careful with that word, bro. I'm telling you, adoption is like, oh, everybody's using you. Yeah, finish your sentence, bro. Everyone's using you right now. But you're trying to price in the future. Yeah, everybody was using Luna at the top, bro. Everyone. All right. You remember Anchor and everything. So what I'm going to show you is, look at this, okay? So let's learn what happened here. Because this want to show you why pDAI might change stuff, okay? So the main edge of Terra Luna is Luna's the ecosystem, right? It was a Luna ecosystem. It had a stable coin, okay? But it have a, I guess if pDAI succeeds, remember friends, if pDAI succeeds, it will be the world's first natively decentralized ping pong coin. Not a stable coin, okay? It might be a ping pong coin, as you know here. So we've got our pingy pongies here, friends. Pinging and ponging and pinging and ponging. See that? See that, friends? Pinging and ponging. Ping to 99 cents. Pong to $1.01. Ping to 99 cents. Pong to $1.01. Ping and pong. Do you get it now? Not a stable coin. Not stable. It's pinging and ponging. But the ping and pong can be really, really tight, can't they? Okay. Now remember, Terra Luna, that UST, that was the edge. The edge was, so Do Kwon, right? I nickname him Dildo Kwon, but Do Kwon, friends, remember the stablecoin was meant to be symbiotic with the chain. So like, I guess Do Kwon was on the right path. He was just a cycle too early, which is actually very common. You know, FTX, friends, you know, Soy Bankman-Fried, there's this, you know, Cloud AI, C-L-A-U-D-E, Cloud AI. Yeah, the owners of them, they're called like Anthropic or something. He got into their ICO. He believed in AI 5 years ago, right? So he got into their ICO, I think it was in 2021, and they forcefully had to liquidate his stake for $1.3 billion profit, but now it's worth $12 billion. They just did a markup literally, you know, like a week or two ago. They got a repricing. The whole thing's worth 150 billion market cap. He bought an 8% stake of it. Yeah, so he got into AI early, man, and they forcefully liquidated him because of the scum government, the scum accounting firm, and all the other scum made him jeek the lows. Otherwise, he could have made everyone money if he just held it to today, right? So there you go. So I'm giving you an example, friends, of people who are a bit. Just you're one cycle early. Let's play some PUBG music for them. You know? Sometimes I say, though, if you're too early, you're wrong. You know, because it takes too long, basically, for the capital to appreciate. But, you know, depends how you think about it. So Do Kwon, friends, from my cute picture here of him. Do Kwon, right, here he is. He was on the right path. He's like, hey, I want a chain and I want a stablecoin. All right? And the stablecoin is you earn yield on it. So I guess the idea is, because stablecoins are boring to you and me because we're in crypto, but everyone out there in the world has savings. Yeah. So if you can get them in, you basically adopt their network. Right. And that's the big boost, man. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people we can get them in. That's why stablecoin super cycle is now finally coming in. All right. Now, I already told you, right? The main edge of Terra Luna was meant to be this UST stablecoin. At its peak, though, Luna UST, so Terra USD, that's the $1, meant to be $1 stablecoin. It had a market cap, I think, of 16 billion. So all the people in the chain of UST, all the people who had a dollar there, everybody thought they were saving $16 billion worth because it's meant to be $1, right? In their mind. And it was $1. They could get out, right? Not all of them, though. However, how much was backing it? So there was 16 billion market cap. There was only 2 billion to back it. Okay. So what they actually did was they raised so much money from everyone out here that Do Kwon bought Bitcoin. The event you really got to understand is why this killed everyone, man. Because this is why it's dangerous, friends. Dildo Kwon, he made half of the right moves. He was a visionary. He wanted a stablecoin in there. So he was a cycle early. He believed in stablecoins. He wants Luna UST. He's got the ecosystem, Terra Luna. So you got an ecosystem. You're going to have your own DeFi stuff. We need a stablecoin on there. No one else is thinking of that, by the way. Did you know that? No one in crypto, friends. I'm here, man. You were here. No one was thinking about this. No one. With Ethereum, they made the technology to have the stablecoin, but none of it was native, you know, because Ethereum's the hotbed of innovation. No other chain was thinking of this, man. He was, damn it, Dildo, you were one cycle too early. Some of you actually messaged me and tagged me, and you said, Sommi, they said you were surprised but proud to see, actually, I defended Dildo Kwon. And a lot of people saying, scammer. Shut up, bro. Just shut up. All right? Just shush. Okay? He didn't know it wouldn't work. Because on paper, a lot of the things, it worked halfway. All right? So, but by the way, let me just give you another example. All of the people telling Dildo Kwon that Luna UST wouldn't work, they're all Ethereum maxis. But guess what, bro? Bitcoin maxis told you Ethereum is dog shit and you're not going to work either. And you said, no, we are great. We are decentralized. Everything is great. What happens to you? Solana comes in and eats your lunch. Now you're embarrassed. You have to go pivot on the layer 2 garbage. Vitalik literally looks like a loser to the rest of the world. All right, lucky for me, I know he's actually a 4,000 IQ alien. He literally looks like the biggest loser ever. And actually, my opinion doesn't even have to come out to the world. How about I just show you how much you are down after 8 years of taking on all this unnecessary risk against Bitcoin? You are still down 80% after 8 years. In fact, at the bottom, you went down 88% and all of you capitulate. Okay, so have some humility. Okay, just like you're telling somebody, oh, it's a Ponzi, it's not going to work. Friends, you know Max Kaiser, all these other Bitcoin Maxis, Dan Held, they all tell Ethereum guys, you're a Ponzi too. You're not fully decentralized. You guys just minted yourself Ethereum. None of you earned that. You just basically gave yourself coins and now you're pretty much suffering for it. Do you see what I mean? So it's tough, man. It's tough, friends. Because, you know, one guy's smart and he gets something right. And then it's that Peter Schiff moment where like, okay, then you just, you know, you get it. The game's more complicated. There's a lot of grays in this game. I even came out and I said, Kwon's innocent. Solana chain has currently over 25 scammers and grifters pushing way more aggressive evil than Kwon ever could. However, in the eyes of the USA, they really go nuclear if you desecrate the US dollar. It's crime season. Time to release Kwon. I want to tell you something. I can actually one-up this as well, all right? And what we'll do is we'll play some gentle angel music to remind everyone. Right now, Bitcoin Treasury bubble is still growing. There are Bitcoin maxis right now hiding behind Bitcoin logos. They will never be able to outperform Bitcoin. It is literally impossible for all these companies to outperform Bitcoin. It's like actually impossible. There's going to be winners and losers. Guess what? Just like altcoins, 95% of them are going to lose. And they know it. And they know it. And the story is still happening, okay? They're writing emails. They're talking to people right now. And the cracks have not started to show, but the cracks will happen later on, and it'll all come out in the next bear market when everything implodes, and then everyone will come out and they'll go, oh my gosh, you ran a giant freaking misleading Ponzi for your investors, and so begins the cycle all over again. The good thing is though, friends, there might be a man named Richard Hart out here who's watching this carefully, who is learning about what to do if he was to do it. Let me continue, friends. Luna UST, remember I told you it just had 16 billion market cap at the high, and it was only 2 billion to back it, okay? Now, where did that 2 billion come from? Well, what happened was they had a lot of cash raised from everybody putting it in, and you know this moment right here, I'll never forget this. 28th of March, 22, around here, Kwon bought 40,000 BTC, right? I remember Anthony Pompliano, he went on news and he started saying, wow, like, you know, we're seeing people doing, it's kind of friendly friends. Kwon, he was just one cycle too early, brother. He was using the Bitcoin to back the ecosystem. It was effectively like your own Bitcoin treasury thing. He was just one cycle too early, dude. You were just one cycle too early. I'm telling you, man, it's just, everything he's doing, it now works. The market rewards you for it. But what was his problem, friends? Timing. He was doing this at the end of a crypto run where only demand is going to exit. Okay, so let me continue now. So remember that 40,000 Bitcoin he bought at 40K when they had it, it was 1.6 billion with a B. So that was how much backed the Luna UST, okay? But also you had another backing, which was, so this is where more of the mechanic of the system of Luna worked. Their system was UST. If you DePeg below $1, we will print more Luna tokens, inflate them, yield, and dump the Luna price to grab the money from the Luna bid and transfer over to UST. And that's why everyone said, warning, warning, warning. If this thing went too low, everything just goes to zero. That's why there was a lot of warnings and stuff out here, right? But like I said, okay, hey, Ethereum maxis, okay, have some humility, because just like you were finger pointing at this Ponzi and saying it's not going to work, you're literally down 80% versus BTC, despite making the world's greatest inventions in finance, DeFi, Uniswap, Chainlink, all this other stuff. It all literally means nothing. Digital pet rock Bitcoin has been bitch slapping you for a long time. So you can forgive people's skepticism, you know what I mean? So if you add up the total bid of the Bitcoin and Luna, it was 2 billion. Now you notice, 2 billion is not 16 billion, because that's what the market cap was. But let me just show you this. This was UST depegging, okay? This is the famous quote by Kwon here. He says, deploying more capital, steady lads. So this is a quote from Richard Hart as it was happening. Look at this, May 2022. buy high, sell low. Kwon do getting trading doesn't help peg. So he's basically saying, hey, Mr. Kwon, konnichiwa, Mr. Kwon, buying high and selling low is not what you're meant to be doing. Why was he saying that, friends? If we go to May 17, 2022, when Richard Fart was actually saying that, was here. Well, let's go to May 17. There you go, friends. So pretty much right here. So he bought the Bitcoin at 40K or something, right? Around here, whatever, 48K, whatever it was, okay? He bought the Bitcoin here, and then he's selling it here to defend the peg. So he buys high, and then he starts selling to do it, right? So look, obviously, friends, we're talking in hindsight. As this was happening, it was a major, major, major panic. Major panic, okay? Look, as all things in life, if you're panicked 99% of the time, the best thing to do is nothing. In this case, that would have been the right move to do. Okay, let me continue. Remember, all of these friends, all the path is you're eventually gonna see Richard Hart. Right now, as he's watching this, he's probably like living the high life. He's sitting on his castle chair on top of a sandwich shop. Probably got shish kebab. Probably got the chicken kebabs. Probably like a little dirty Hungry Jack's burger on the side, ready for some sides as well. Probably got some chicken nuggets too. You know, he's enjoying living on top of the sandwich shop, watching this. Okay, because he's thinking, maybe I want to do a stablecoin in the future. So this is Dildo Coin. So this is Luna UST, friends. As you can see, right, it went from $1 and now it's about 1.4 cents. That's why I tell you, man, friends, it hit 7 cents at the end of 2023. And I'm like, if this thing could hit 7 cents, why can't pDAI? Right? I'll just throw it out there. Why can't it? There's something I think about. And I've been talking about this for a long time, you know. Why can't I do, like, you know, if it's at 0.5 cents, why can't I do another 14x and get to 7 cents? That'd be great if it did that, you know. So we'll continue. Oh yeah, or if the price, you know, pDAI at 1 cent, 2 cents. By the way, I'm not saying that's my target. I'm just saying I was always thinking about something like that, right? So I can tell you this in hindsight. Kwon should have let it go to 0 and keep the Bitcoin. So if people wanted to DePeg and sell it down, he should have done nothing. Just sit and do nothing. But he panicked. Because he would have had 40,000 Bitcoin, and like, obviously we're talking in hindsight now, right? Assuming a lot of things, but if he just sat there and did nothing, yeah? Remember, if he has 40,000 Bitcoin, when Bitcoin's 250K, he's going to have 10 billion, yeah? He'll be able to cover everyone. He would. Or you say, oh, okay, wait for 400K, whatever. They'll eventually get their money. They eventually get it. There are no promises in this game. It's backed. It's technically backed by the Bitcoin. Eventually the value caps up. He would have been able to make everyone whole with a lot of pain and turmoil, but it would have happened. Okay, so unfortunately what happened was Kwon panicked, and as you can see on the chart, he desperately rotated the Bitcoin into UST to force the peg. Now, this is UST to Tether ratio. All right, remember, it used to be at $1 up here. And what I'm going to show you, this is a 12-hour chart. That's why, friends, I just got to remind you once again. I know sometimes you forget for a moment of time that you're watching the highest value content in crypto. Press like and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. You are watching. I just got to confirm for you. And yes, I still have the straightest posture, pound for pound, in the crypto industry. So see these big candles? That was Kwon trying to peg it. You see that? It comes down, market comes up. Okay, see this? So it goes down to this price is 60 cents. Smacks at 60 cents. He tries to smack it up. Okay. It comes down again, down here to 25, 30 cents. And then he uses the last of the Bitcoin and he tries to really take it all the way up. I remember that. You know what's funny, friends? This is, man, time is weird. In my mind, it all DePegged in a day. Yeah? That was in my mind. But now that I'm looking at it, look at this thing, man. These are 12-hour candles. This is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it exploded over 4 days. Wow. It's such a blur. I don't even remember going to sleep, just watching this thing and like having a heart attack. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's over for all of us. So as you can see, right, he had tried to DePeg it. Now, you might say to me, Sommi, why would it be optimal to do nothing? That's because, okay, now I can only tell you this because I got the benefit of hindsight, but also too, I'm in pDAI and I'm learning. So obviously, Richard's infinitely wiser than me and he knows what the hell to do when it comes to these. I can sit here, I'm reverse engineering what the man who used to live on top of a sandwich shop is doing, Richard Huh. I'm reverse engineering what he's doing, and I'm imagining him looking at Kwon and making the tweaks, and he knows where this guy did it wrong. So what would have been best, friends? Let everyone dump it to zero. It actually stayed around here 5 cents. Okay, down here. It would have stayed at 5 cents, and then what you could have done is people could have accumulated it. Yeah, they could have accumulated it for all those years until Bitcoin rises up. Because what could have happened was, a lot of the supply of Bitcoin, a lot of the supply of the UST, a lot of people would have taken losses. Yeah. So people who used to have this for $1, there's people who, now I'm getting into some alpha here. Okay. Some alpha. Let's go peg it. Let's peg it. Okay. There are people who, they can't wait for the dollar. They don't want to wait 5 years until Bitcoin hits 250K. So they'll sell it like 1 cent now. They'll sell it 5 cents now. Very interesting. It's almost like I'm telling you an alternative universe pDAI kind of event. Like, hey, you don't want to wait for $1? Okay, G'd it out now, bro. A believer will get it at $1. So what could have been with this, if Kwon called up Richard and he's like, tell me what to do, bro, I'm in panic. Richard would have told him, okay, firstly, do nothing. Secondly, it might take 4 or 5 years for Bitcoin to hit 250K. Thirdly, absolutely let everybody sell the low. Don't make any prophecies, just say nothing. Let them sell the low. And what you got to do is, you with investors and stuff, you got to accumulate all their dead bags at 1 cent, okay? And you got to get them to get out, people who don't believe, all right? The more that you can accumulate of your UST down here at 1 cent, that is less money. If you check it down here, that is less money you need from the Bitcoin to return it back to $1. Are you starting to see something with the story now of the pDAI and it going to zero, friends? So I'll just show you this. It's kind of, man, when I tell you I'm the highest value content in crypto. By the way, can go to zero for a third time. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a guy who picks his own nipples on the internet. Okay, none of this is financial advice. No crying in the casino. Let's go. Remember, this is pDAI, friends. It goes to zero. He's like, look at this. Strong price action. And then it goes to zero again. Interesting. Strong price action. Are you starting to see how this thing is very interesting? You're starting to see it, like, very interesting, Sommi. The more a believer gets to accumulate the $1 payout thing at 1 to 5 cents, the more that you get them to sell, the non-believers and strong believers, the higher odds it works. Hence why I am of the belief it was a biblical shakeout. You see? Like, you know what Richard would have done if he was Dildo Kwon at the bottom? He would have like said nothing. He would have let them all G'd out. He would have let them all G'd out. Because imagine Richard was Dildo Kwon, like, he's going to succeed. He's like, well, you know what? You know what's better than buying a UST at 10 cents? 1 cent. Let him capitulate lower. I get 10 times more purchasing power, bang for buck. Very interesting, right? Think about if, like, friends, if $1 billion worth of people, yeah, $1 billion of people sold UST at 5 cents, they only collect $50 million. So if $50 million worth of buyers accumulate them over time, think about it, that's another $1 billion less they have to cover of the Bitcoin. Now, what could have been in this alternative world is if there was still 40,000 BTC, this would have been a call option, if you will, a lottery ticket on Bitcoin hitting 250K. Because it should have been I just put 250K, right? Just the number. So That's what it would have been like. The odds that the market thinks Bitcoin's going to hit 250K. Okay, that's what this thing should have been trading at. Which is very interesting because, you know, pDAI as well, friends. Like this, you see what I mean? Like it's a slingshot leverage bet on how much you think Ethereum and Bitcoin and PulseChain and stuff is going up. Do you see these bull market speculation vehicles? That's what it could have been like that. Imagine like Bitcoin was 50K, right? And then you get to buy Luna UST at where it is now, 2 cents. You're like, wait a minute. If Bitcoin goes to 250, that's a 5x. Okay, but then this thing pegs. So you get a 50x. So this thing, so Luna UST could have been like a 10x leverage on Bitcoin, right? As it goes up. But you would have had to believe in it by buying the low, right? So, you know, he would have been eventually able to make everyone whole. But obviously he didn't, right? So I've summarized here for you what he should have done. Number one, don't spend the Bitcoin Treasury immediately, yeah? Let the Jeets Jeet. Let people sell it. 10 cents, 7, 5, 3. It's now sitting at 1.4 cents, by the way, right? And then him and the investors, they could have accumulated themselves, which, like I said, just could be Richard, could be PulseChain pioneers, it could be you and me. We accumulate the cheap pDAI. It's interesting, yes. We've never seen anything like it. That's why it's running in reverse, bro. Inverse unicorn, huh? Unfortunately, the whole Luna mechanism was designed so that Luna tokens get minted infinitely in supply to help the UST bid, but everyone saw minus 99% Luna and sold UST anyway. So it was a self-reinforcing doom loop to zero. This is what happens in a state of panic. People do drastic things. I believe pDAI will be done right. We will see, and my nipples do remain pegged. So, of course, here. You see that right here, friends? You see that? Are you starting to see the magic now? Are you starting to see why this one's different? Yeah? This is kind of funny. Dr. Goat. My brother Dr. Goat says, oh, is this Gary the Goat, sir? Ah, Gary. Great post. I hope Richard Hart reads it, sir. Richard Hart basically made the post, if you know. You know what I mean? Like his actions, like what? Oh, now you get to see. I am drawing from his actions and inferring that, right? As like a helping with the story and the thesis. So I put it all together. We need pDAI now more than ever. DAI stablecoin. I also believe if anyone can get it right, it's Richard Hart. He was a true educator. Cheers, mate, for the insight. What a crazy time. I had 100K in UST. It was scary. I sold it all at 70 cents. I was doing the MIM degen box thing. Jennings, sir, that is, thank you so much. So, as you had to see, friends, remember as it was destabling and he kept restoring the peg? Everybody, so it would come back, he'd restore the peg, and then everyone was like, damn it, I'm so scared, just get out. 70 cents, whatever goes to zero, right? So the more it's depegged and destabilized, the more people just want to keep exiting and take the loss, because people keep selling those, right? That's why you need to have it fully backed, right? You need to have, not fully, but you got to have enough to handle everything. Now, you might have said to me, Sommi, does that mean that you need all the dollars to back it? And the answer is no. So one of my craziest revelations is when I checked out Tether's market cap in the bear market. And what I've done now here, I've gone to coin market cap. I'll change the chart to market cap and I'm just going to show you, right? Here it is, friends. You see this part? This was the peak of Tether in last bull market. It was 83 billion. After Luna UST collapsed, look at this. It went down to 65 billion. See that? That's wild. Why? You just watched a stablecoin go to zero and only 25% of people redeemed of Tether. So Tether didn't even need to be fully backed. It only needed 25%, right? And they stayed. Now, hopefully they are fully backed, but I'm just showing you, people just hold on to stablecoins, friends. I don't know why. People just like, I just don't know what to do. They just refuse to leave. It's very sticky. It's very interesting how that works. So what you can learn from this is, if someone can find the way to figure out how much you actually need to back something, you've got it pretty good, don't you? That's why A lot of people say, hey, how's pDAI going to get $44 billion to back it? Firstly, you don't need that much. Secondly, you don't need all $44 billion. And thirdly, even if there was $44 billion to accommodate, you don't actually really need all that. You can get the number much, much, much lower. How much lower? I don't know. I guess ask Richard. He's obviously connected some pieces of the puzzle in places. So friends, after seeing this, okay, and of course we end with the peg here. You now learn, right? So that was our Terra Luna, and that's why everyone says it failed. Okay, but there still could have been a way to win it. Now you might, I know, the first thing you're thinking about is like, hey, Sommi, what if pDAI gets to $1 and then it DePegs in the bear market? Man, I don't know. I know everyone's scared about that, so I don't know. I already know everyone's like, well, I'm too scared of that happening, so I'll just sell as soon as it gets there straight away and I'll move to something else. And then I'm like, oh, well, everyone wants to do that. Okay, which means it's not going to go up nice and easy. It's going to like have tricks and final Akuma boss battles and stuff along the way. By the way, I already held it at 0 right now. You have already held it at 0. You know what I mean? So, look, the truth is, friends, as I've told you many times now, people have this imagination where they're just going to wake up and everything's like 100x higher and you win. Markets don't move like that, bro. It's basically, it's flipping the coin constantly. Yeah. So maybe pDAI goes like to 10 cents and it stops there. Then it comes back to the 3. Yeah. Do you think it's over or not? Same as Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not going to teleport to $1 million. Yeah. It goes to 150, stalls. Hey, do you think it's over or not? Because if you're wrong, guess what? You're holding another 4 years, friend. Bitcoin will go to 180K. Hey, do you think it's over or continuing? Right. It's not going to teleport to $1 million. Markets never do. There's always these cyclical waves of everyone thinking it's on or it's over. It's on or it's over. All right. Just like pDAI. It's going to get to, hopefully, it gets to like 10 cents. And then people ask, hey, do you think it's on or it's over? Because if it's over, you know you're holding your another 4 years, as we've been holding 4.5 years of literally everything, right? So, of course, many of these mysteries will be answered later on as more information pieces come out. But now you've seen, right, Terra Luna. I wonder how this ping pong stablecoin works out. There are some buttons that need to be pressed. It will be natively decentralized. And yeah, like I say, man, this is just the game, friends. Dildo Kwon was just one cycle too early. Just like Soy Bankman-Fried. Yeah. But that's common, right? A lot of things of how we see them play out. Let me know what you think, right? Did you learn a lot? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.